Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Healed Podcast. I am your host, Miss Amber Kinney, and tonight I have the absolute pleasure of chatting with one of my TikTok friends, Thalia LeBlanc.
Woo!
Hey, girl, hey!
Hey, girl, hey.
How are you doing, my love?
I'm fantastic. I'm so happy to be here. I'm very happy and proud to be a part of this. The beginning stages of only what's the best yet to come.
You better say that. Speak that thing into, come on.
The power of the tongue is real.
It is. That's what we need to understand to be facts. It's very
Amen.
true. Very true. Well, I'm just so happy to have you on the podcast tonight. Like, girl, you not only are you an inspiration, you are out here killing it. Like, just want to say that out loud. Like, you are definitely doing what you've done in the best way that it can be done, honey.
I'm doing my best, you know. We out here trying to make it.
Hey, look, it was the Catwoman Halloween stuff for me. It was the Halloween content for me, honey.
Insert clip.
Okay, period. I'm gonna have to insert the clip of Catwoman in the bathroom. It was that one for me. I was like, yes.
She was stealing some stuff.
That's Steve did things that you did. That. So how
I'm
did
here
you
for it.
start? What'd you say?
I said I'm here for it.
Okay, always. We always here for it, for the gag. So how did you start doing content creation?
Woo! So I actually started in social media about 10 years ago on Instagram. And it was very basic back then, obviously. If you can actually scroll all the way down to my very first post. It was a picture of my laptop with YouTube on display playing, what's it called? The song Practice by Drake. And it was like my
song. What?
Okay. And some tennis shoes, or my new tennis shoes, because I was initially a fitness blogger kind of person. So I did all my fitness stuff. I did fitness competitions. That was really fun. I gained a big following off fitness. Then I fell off a little bit because I didn't know things were happening in my body. My hormones were going out of whack, but I had no idea during this time. On top of the fact that I was in a toxic relationship and they didn't like me posting stuff. So I was getting too much attention. Right. So they were like, blocked so many of my blessings. But anyway, what's for me will be, no matter what. Delayed does not be denied. That's a word right there.
You've already started dropping the gems. Come on.
I'm just saying. So I fell off, other reasons, yada yada yada, and then I just stayed consistent on Instagram, and you know I saw the rise and the fall of Vine. I posted on there a little bit. Vine is amazing. And then TikTok came, and then TikTok was actually Musical.ly before, which I figured out whenever I logged onto TikTok, presumably downloading it for the first time, and I noticed I had videos that were already there, and I was like, when did my evil twin do this? I'm very confused. Turns out it was my Musical.ly videos, and it was very like you know, all the stuff that people used
I
to
remember those, like the super jolty dances.
Yes. And you had to move the camera, and it was all about that. I found those, and I was like embarrassing. Let me delete those. And then I just started posting on TikTok. And that's how I began my journey on content creation.
The thing is, if someone were to like release one of their old Musical.ly videos, that would become a trend on TikTok. Like
immediately. It's all about nostalgia nowadays. Everything, you know, the 90s, 2000s, like that's nostalgic. And that's what people want.
Did you ever like think that what we grew up on was going to be what the kids are doing now?
Hell no. No way. Bell-bottom jeans, like, what is that? Like, I thought skinny jeans were here to stay forever, and I don't think they're going away. But even now, like I'm wearing a big old scrunchie right now, by the way.
Facts, yes.
That's a thing, and then you wear it on your wrist, and the puka shells, like that's coming back. I'm like, what century am I in?
We are back in the year 2003, folks. Like,
literally,
welcome back to 2003. Girl, it it's surreal
The
seeing.
fashion, the content, styles,
Yes.
everything, hair,
All of the
makeup.
vintage filters and the hair and the you were absolutely on it, honey. I feel you. It's crazy to see it.
Yes. But it's kind of cool though. It's kind of like, okay, now I see what my parents were talking about. And they're like, oh, what you know about that? Literally,
Facts.
that's
Do not let them turn on some 90s music. We be like,
what y'all know about this? Y'all don't know nothing about this.
that, but really it'd be the early 2000s music that's like, okay, no.
Right.
That's ours.
No.
Okay. Well, listen, Talia, like you have gotten really big on TikTok as well. And I know that you started out your journey on TikTok as our apartment bestie. So you're no longer our apartment bestie, but you are now the queen of PCOS knowledge and badassery, honey. How did you make the switch? Like, how was that? Tell us about the switch that you made.
Yeah, so I started Apartment Bestie as a part of a campaign that a random company reached out to me and they were like, hey, we're looking for creators that can teach things on TikTok. It could be any kind of educational content. And I said, okay. So I sat there and I racked my brain. And I was like, well, I'm currently in property management. I was an apartment manager and I had been one for 5 years at this point last year. And I was like, well, I'm putting my thinking cap on and I was like, well, people on TikTok are majority Gen Z. At this point, TikTok wasn't that popular as it is now.
Right.
So a lot of Gen Zers had TikTok and younger millennials. And I said, well, a lot of them always talk about not wanting to live at home. They want to move out on their own. But a lot of the times they have no idea what that even takes. Like, what do you have to have in order? What documents? What this, what that? So I was like, let me just start teaching them about apartments, like how to get into one, what you do when you live in one.
Right.
So I started posting that content. And I mean, in a week, I shot up to like 100,000 followers. It was crazy. My videos were getting massively viral. I mean, to this day, I think like my biggest one was like 8.9 million views. Crazy amount of traffic towards my page, which was awesome. A lot of pressure to continue to post apartment bestie content over and over and over again. Anytime I would go live, it was just questions over and over again. Yeah. Can I be 18 and get an apartment? Can I be 18 and get an apartment? That was like the main question. I was like, yes, you can be 18 and get an apartment.
I remember that phase.
Unless you're in Kentucky, then you can be 15, which is wild and a whole other thing. But I made the switch because I was getting burnt out at my job.
Yeah.
As it was, the industry can be kind of toxic between residents, upper management, all that. And then doing it all day and then getting online to, create content, which is what I love to do. I love, creating content. I grew up being a theater kid and that was like my thing. So to create content that I didn't love really was starting to weigh on me. And I was like, okay, I need to make a switch and it's going to hurt me. I know that I'm going to lose followers because this is not why they followed me. They don't give a damn that I want to be an actress and that I make music and that I'm an artist in other ways. They're not going to care. So I'm going to lose followers. And I sure did. So you have to mentally prepare yourself that you're going to lose people and believe that your tribe will find you. Your people will come.
Right.
You don't know how long that's going to take, but I definitely dropped down maybe like 40, 50,000 followers. And then I just slowly, as my content just stayed consistent with what I actually wanted to post, which is not just PCOS. I also don't want to be known as like this all knowledgeable PCOS person because I'm not. I don't have credentials for that. I can only tell people my experience. However, I do want to let women that suffer from PCOS know that you can have PCOS and still be an actress, an artist, a makeup artist, whatever you want to be, and not be labeled as your your condition or your diagnosis. So that's what I want my page to come across. Like I can be badass and I can act and sing and do whatever I want to do. And who cares that I grow a little hair on my face or that I don't get periods and my weight kind of tries to fight me on a daily basis. But anyway. So yeah, that's how I made my switch. Just slowly but surely. It's happened all year. I've been slowly transitioning and my followers will dip here and there, but I do see that my people are trickling in and that's really the important part.
Yeah. I have noticed that, that audience for you is just growing and growing. And I love that for you. Because I remember you were very nervous about, making that switch.
Yeah.
But I'm just so happy to hear how it has, started blossoming into what you actually want to talk about, what you
Yeah.
actually want to do. It's giving
Yeah.
very much lifestyle. It's giving
It's
lifestyle.
lifestyle. It's lifestyle, baby. And you know what? I did the same thing on my Instagram. So I used to just be fitness. Every post was a fitness post. I was working out, I was showing a gym fit or whatever. And then I was like, my name used to even be Thalia You Fit on Instagram. And I had so much notoriety with this name. I'd be in my hometown at the gym. People would come up to me, are you Thalia You Fit? Can we get a workout in? And I'd be like, oh my gosh, you put on me because this is crazy. So whenever I started noticing these changes in my body that was unbeknownst to me, PCOS, I had an inkling, but I wasn't diagnosed just till last year. And I kind of started losing that confidence in being this persona of Thalia You Fit. So I was like, I have all these other passions. I don't want to be put in this box that I'm just fitness or TikTok, or that I'm just a part of my bestie or whatever. So I changed my name to just my name, and I was like, this is me, you get all of me. And it's lifestyle. You gonna get whatever I gotta go through this year, this week, today, whatever. And I lost followers in that too. So I felt like the reason I was confident in doing it on TikTok was because I kind of had already done it on a smaller scale on Instagram, switching who I was. But it's giving very much lifestyle for everything.
I love it. I love it so much. I do. What are your thoughts? So I'm curious because we know like the impact that TikTok is having. Well, we have a general idea of how impactful TikTok is on our society, on things that the culture is doing, music on the radio.
Yep.
But baby, what are your thoughts on the impact that TikTok and other social media has had on our ideas of our body image, our self-worth, and our self-esteem?
Woo. Okay, so social media as a whole, which at the beginning, social media was really kind of almost just kind of talking about Instagram, if we're being real. Because Facebook is more family, you kind of keep up with your childhood friends, whatever. MySpace isn't even really relevant anymore. Sorry, Tom. And then
to the metaverse.
okay, now it's some even who knows, all that metadata they're keeping on us. But anyway,
Black Mirror, welcome in, usher in the 5th season. What season would it be? 6, 7? I don't know.
Who knows? But then Instagram came, and Instagram is this perfectly curated feed. And I remember when I first started Instagram, I always wanted to be better, look my best. Every picture had to be on point. Everything has to be edited, airbrushed, teeth whitened, all that jazz. Because that's the standard on Instagram. And Instagram definitely made me feel a lot less than a lot of the times, especially dealing with PCOS. I'm like, man, I bet that girl doesn't have to shave every day. I bet that girl doesn't struggle with her weight. Like, oh my gosh, like she's perfect. She looks perfect. So you start feeding your brain that because you're consuming it every single day.
Yeah.
And then TikTok came around, and I'm not gonna lie, with TikTok, I was expecting kind of the same, but the format that they have, which is basically all video, really doesn't allow for people to airbrush things and perfect things. You kind of just show up how you show up. And of course, there's makeup and outfits and things like that. But at the end of the day, you're you. And I think that the rise of these creators, kind of like Remy, and I know last year Sienna was a huge thing. These creators kind of put it in the forefront, like you can be thick, you can have a belly, you can have these things, and you could still be a bad bitch, like you could still be a badass, like it doesn't matter, you could still be feminine, beautiful, whatever. And I think that TikTok has done more for my self-esteem than any platform that has ever existed. And that's why I want to continue to put out the content that I put out, which is me, shaving in the morning. Why? Because I know millions of girls around the world go through what I go through, and no one talks about it. So everyone thinks that they're alone. And that's why I wanted to kind of join that little crew of creators that shows you the real deal, Holyfield. Like, this is real life. My life isn't perfect.
Exactly. No, there's an audience for everything. There truly is an audience for everything. And, I love what you said about wanting to show the realness of it. That's why I asked about the impact that it has had on things like your self-esteem, your body image, your self-worth. I've noticed that on TikTok as well, where it's like, come as you are, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and you know, everybody's FYP is different, but I
Yes.
know about, I've learned so much on TikTok, more than I may have even learned in my social studies class, and you know, in high school.
Literally.
Learned
The most
so
random
much
facts
there.
you learn on TikTok. I mean, from about everything, history, how to do something. I learned that I was using a cutting board wrong. Like, what the hell? It's a cutting board.
Been doing life wrong this entire time before TikTok.
My whole life. It was a lie.
Oh my goodness, girl, I'm telling you. Well, listen, with the shift that you've made, um, in terms of your social media journey, in terms of, you know, your journey overall, your self-love journey, um, did you have any aha moments along the way? And like, what were they? And how do they guide what you're doing now?
Yeah, so my aha moments were definitely times where I posted something, maybe not even thinking that it was going to go viral or whatever, like just sharing a vulnerable moment, just because sometimes I do recognize that I use social media sometimes as an outlet to just
Mm.
vent or speak about something in hopes that somebody out there will relate. And
Right.
getting this overwhelming amount of women that were like, oh my God, I do the same thing. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like that blew my mind. I was like, wait, I'm not the only, I mean, I know I'm not the only woman that goes through this, but just to get the confirmation, and not
Right.
just for me, because I feel like even I choose to show up online how I choose to show up. I know there's so many women that wish that they could, but they can't bring it out of themselves to do it. And if I could just help even just one woman to just be like, okay, like if she did it, like, because honestly, the only reason I did it was because my For You page was kind of getting curated to be this very real, everyone that was showing up on my For You page was being vulnerable, was showing these parts of themselves that aren't the
Ah,
prettiest. And that gave me the confidence. I was like, man, I remember about to post my first video showing that I had facial hair and that I was going to shave it. I was like,
you
oh,
got
I'm going to be
scared.
perceived. I was like, I'm going to be perceived. Like, what are people going to say? Like, am I not going to be like deemed as feminine anymore or pretty? Like, what are people going to think? And then I said, you know what? F it. I posted it and the video blew up. And I was like, and every woman in that comment section suffered from PCOS and struggled with feeling feminine. And I honestly was
Wow.
moved to tears. I was like, wow, like what a moment. Like that started everything. I was like, you know what? I'm going to continue putting out this content because I think it's important. And I think more women need to see it because they do feel alone. And that's terrible because I felt alone. And that's not a very nice feeling.
No, it's not. It's not at all a nice feeling to feel isolated at under any circumstance. Well,
Yes.
you mentioned, you touched on femininity, and I know we talk a lot, being in the divine feminine space a lot. So
Yes.
with, you know, the struggles that you faced, how were you cultivating your feminine?
So I think about it as like in the mornings, I have a routine. Every person has a routine. And I used to put like the shaving part, which is like dreaded in this PCOS world. I used to put that in its own box, like, oh, like I have to shave my face like a man. I would literally say that. I was like, I have to shave my face like a man. Like, no other woman has to do this. Like, ugh. Now I'm like, this is my morning routine. I do my skincare. That's a part of my skincare routine because I need my face to be smooth. So I'll shave. I'll put my creams, my cleansers, whatever, serums, whatnot. We're 29. We're not getting any younger. Okay. But you
Okay,
see the
look,
skin though, it's
give me my
glowing. It's
retinol right
gorgeous.
now.
Girl, it's wild out here. So I just basically tell myself, it's kind of like a daily affirmation kind of thing. Like, this is my morning routine. I have to shower and do all these things every day because it won't last. So, in the same token, I have to shave and do these things every day because I want to keep up with my femininity. I consider myself a very feminine person, and I love to step into that feeling of feeling feminine, and I no longer allow a step in my daily routine to dictate my femininity or
That's
my
real.
lack thereof.
That's
So, yep. So it's just a part of my routine. It ain't shaving like a man anymore. It's just a part of my routine.
It's just I have to shave and that's it.
It's just hair. It's just hair.
It's just hair. Absolutely. And you know what? You're so right, because these femininity coaches and gurus, sometimes the advice is very superficial and doesn't consider a whole person.
Yep.
So I can completely understand like why so many of us have this misconception that feminine looks a certain way. And then here's
Right.
the other part of the tea. Femininity
Feel
is
like girl.
dark. Like a lot of femininity is dark. It's not all like light and airy and oh, these flowers and butterflies and roses. Like, no, a lot of it is like healing work, like that deep healing work that causes you to go into those places, like those crevices that nobody likes to talk about, baby. Like, what?
Yes.
So, yes,
It could be very
girl.
dark, sultry. It could be femininity can also be masculine, and that's the real tea. You could be, you know, a very strong woman, and people are, oh well, that's like, you know, she acts like a man. Look, because she knows what she wants and she's sure of herself and she carries herself a certain way or she looks a certain way. Who cares? Like, she's feminine AF in her dominant self,
And
which could be seen not feminine.
That's the thing. So many of us try to surround femininity around masculinity, and that's just not. Your feminine journey is not, it should be for you specifically and not for anyone else
at all.
You know, however your femininity shows up in you, it's going to look different for you than it might look in someone else.
Yeah, 1,000%. Some women may want to put, like, I've even gone through a different journey as far as like nowadays, like I don't wear as much makeup as I used to. And before I used to be like, makeup, like a lot of makeup is feminine. Now I'm like, some days I want to wear a lot of makeup. I'll even go get my makeup professionally done and look like beat to the gods. And then the next day, like today, I was like, you know, I'm gonna be a little just, you know, makeup free, like a no makeup look.
I'm
like,
gonna have a natural look, period.
Yeah, I just want to look glow today. And but before I used to be like, before I used to have to wear earrings every day. There's so many, and I think a lot of it comes with age. I think a lot of it is coming like a coming of age thing. As I've gotten older, I really don't care as much as I used to, and now I don't necessarily put my femininity on the back of like, oh, I have to wear makeup or I have to do this. If then I'm not like feminine. Like, no.
Yeah, that freedom is a part of femininity as well. Living out loud, how like that's
living out loud. I love that.
Living out loud, that's a thing, and that's definitely a part of that feminine journey. So I'm so glad that you know you bring that up, because people need to know that, Thalia. Like people need to know that femininity looks different for everyone, and your journey should not surround anyone but yourself.
Exactly. You do it for yourself, not for anyone else.
That's right. So throughout well in the last year, you've experienced some really tough things, and you were vulnerable with us on your TikTok and your Instagram. How did you conclude that you wanted to share these things with us? And like, how have they impacted you moving forward?
Yeah, so last year, closing in close to this time last year, at the end of November last year, my dad got sick with COVID. Both of my parents did. And then my mom got better, my dad did not. And he was in the hospital for a month and he passed on Christmas Eve. So the holidays were very, very hard last year. Fast forward to after we buried him in January, laid him to rest. Then my grandma passed about 2 months later, which is his mom. And then his brother passed a month after that. And then our family dog passed. So it was like back to back to back to back. I mean, it was like life was beating me down. Every month there was something going on. And then our dog has been sick. He's sick till this day. And it's just like all this stuff. And I thought, you know, I can crumble right now because I have every right to. I have every right to disappear and just grieve and sulk and do whatever the hell I want to do, to be honest. I felt entitled to that. But I said, you know what, though? I don't think my dad would want me to do that because my dad believed in me so much. He believed in my dreams. Even though he's, you know, he always wanted me to to finish school. I was supposed to be a lawyer. Like I went to school, political science. Like I went to school for like 9 years, never finished. I have like 20 credits left. I totally could, but anyway, school is a scam. Anyway.
Facts.
Education is not, but the collegiate system is kind of a
college is a scam. Get your education. You don't have to go to college to do it.
Exactly. So anyway, he believed in my abilities of an actress, of a singer, of a performer, an artist. He believed in me so much. And I was like, you know, if I stop now, like I'm riding this wave right now. Like I do have a loyal following. Like I do have people that are rooting for me. I know there's so many people reached out that they were praying for me and they were praying for my strength. And I honestly pray to God for strength and peace beyond my understanding. And when I tell you I've received, because some days I don't know how I made it through the day, but I did. And every day that I made it, every day, it just gave me this confidence. And I was like, you know what? There's probably some people out there. A lot of people actually reached out and told me, hey, I lost my dad too to COVID, or I lost my dad last year, and whatever. And I just went on a spiral and I was like, man, I don't want to go through that. So I did things. I put things in place to not allow myself to go down a spiral. And I wanted to document it because I thought it'd be cool to look back and always see kind of how far I've come. So I got myself a trainer. I knew that my weight was getting out of control, especially during that month. I gained like 15 pounds in 1 month from like being so stressed. My dad being in the hospital, I was just emotionally eating. So I got myself a trainer, started like at the beginning of February. I gave myself like that month to kind of grieve and, you know, whatever. Started that. I started working on my back, my scoliosis. I've had all this pain all the time. My weight wasn't helping that. I started getting electrolysis treatments to get rid of my hair because that would help me with my confidence. And started like just doing my passions and just like, I'm gonna just start acting. I'm gonna just start singing. I'm gonna just start posting all this stuff, and I'm gonna share my grieving journey because I know there's people out there that are grieving and have no idea what it looks like to just try to be positive during this time. And I think my personality helps with that too. I just have a positive outlook most of the time, and I'm very grateful for that. I think my dad gave me that because my dad was, when I tell you, he was like a golden retriever energy was my dad. Like,
oh my goodness. Yeah.
He was the sweetest man on earth. And he was a pediatrician. He loved kids. He always was around kids his whole life. So he gave me that energy. And I think that between him and God, like that was the only way. Yeah. To be honest. Yeah. I thought it would be relatable. I thought that people could, and a lot of people did. A lot of people related, and a lot of people have been looking to me like, man, I'm really proud of you. Like you actually like stayed afloat all year, and like everyone was waiting for me to just kind of like.
I didn't have a choice, baby.
When I tell you, I'm the eldest daughter.
To do it.
Do you know what it's like to be I'm the eldest daughter. My little brother, which is 7 years younger, I basically helped raise. And my mom doesn't speak English. My mom is going through it. She struggles with mental health. She struggles with, my dad passing away. Obviously, that's been a big thing. We moved her out to the Dominican Republic. She's out with her family. And I kind of had to hold down the fort back home here. So I had no choice. So what do you do when you don't have any choice but to be strong?
You step up to the plate and you figure out how to do it.
But you take care of yourself in the process. That's the thing. I allowed myself days where I didn't want to do anything. I'm like, you know what? These things are going to be there tomorrow. I told everyone I'm really sorry. Not today. Like today's just not one of those days. If you just like, oh, I'm strong. You're setting yourself up for, you going to flip out soon. And you're not going to expect it. It's going to come out of nowhere. So I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Got to take care of yourself. Take a day or 3.
Girl, take 10 if you need it. If you can,
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. You were kind of alluding to it, but like, baby, your body will tell you. If you don't want to listen, your body will tell you.
1,000%.
And force you to do what it needs you to do. Like,
if you don't do it before it tells you to do it, like then it's going to tell you. And as you get older, your body my body wasn't responding as it did once before. And I was like, like, I really need to take my health seriously. A part of the reason why my dad passed away from COVID was because he was extremely overweight. He had high blood pressure, asthma. I have asthma. I went to the doctor. I've been going to the doctor all year. to make sure I'm good with my PCOS. I had abnormal cells come up, which is a high risk of, cervical cancer. Like my body was like freaking out. It was like, yo, like you need to get it together. So I did. And I'm glad that I did, because now everything is good. All my labs came back normal. I was highly stressed.
Yes.
So my blood pressure was super high. My cholesterol was high. I was like, so I need to fix my diet. I need to hone down on my stress levels. I need to take care of myself. Period. I don't have a choice. I can't pour from an empty cup.
Come on.
Period. You can't.
You can't. You did that too. You literally, you took yourself, you took your health, you took your wealth seriously.
We're healed here, okay?
Okay, period. This is the Healed podcast.
We're getting healed. I wouldn't be here if
guests on here who take their healing seriously. And that's what you're doing. And girl, there's so many different elements to healing. Like, I feel like we try to compartmentalize healing, but healing is really a flow, and it comprises so many different things. Sometimes, your healing is going to the doctor and hearing that you have high blood pressure and deciding, you know what? Not me. Not this.
No, exactly.
Can't do it.
Yep. And I know that it's hard to I know it's scary to go to the doctor, especially if you kind of have an inkling that something may be off, and it's scary to maybe get a diagnosis or something like that. But I promise you, half the battle is knowing what you have going on with you, so you can take the right steps to fix it, whether that's your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health. Like, you have to know what's going on with you, and you have to be in tune with your body. And we know when things aren't right.
We do.
We just, like you said, we hide it from ourselves so well that we make ourselves believe, nothing's wrong. I'm young. You tell yourself all the reasons why these things couldn't be happening to you. But early detection in anything is the key to making sure that you can actually heal yourself or get that help that you need to be healed in whatever aspect. And I know, especially like in the Black community, like we do not go to the doctor. We'd be scared to go to the doctor and all kinds of stuff. But like I promise you, therapy, your PCP, your regular primary care provider, the chiropractor, get you massages in, go to yoga, do these things. I promise you it helps.
Do it. Yes, I completely agree. Speaking of yoga, you've shared your fitness journey with us. How do you maintain that consistency in the gym, honey?
Girl, listen. At one point it's motivation, but then at the end it has to be your discipline. And I don't do it perfectly at all. I'm not the perfect person to go with that. If I tell myself I'm going to work out 4 times this week and I get like 2 to 3 in, I'm like, all right, well, you got 2 to 3 in, you'll pat yourself on the back. But
right. Positive reinforcement.
Yes, because it's all about balance. I follow a very, very strict 80-20 balance with everything, with my diet and with my exercise. I'm actually getting a Peloton tomorrow. I'm so excited. It comes tomorrow because since we moved to the suburbs, and the gym membership that we had, there ain't one over here. So we have like gym equipment outside in the backyard, but today a cold front came in. I'm literally wearing a freaking scarf. So it got cold. I was like, I ain't gonna be out, and it's raining. I know myself. Do not set yourself up for failure. That's the biggest thing. Non-negotiables are, do not set yourself up for failure. That's the only way I've been able to keep going. Finding ways to conveniently work out and get your health in order. So for me, that looks like getting a Peloton that's going to be in my room so I can wake up and hop on, and it's interactive. I feel like I'm with others, even though I'm in the comfort of my home. If I had to go drive somewhere else to go to the gym, I guarantee you I wouldn't do it. And that's just me. Some people are used to getting up and driving somewhere to go to the gym. That's great. I've been in property management, or I was for so long, and my apartments that I lived at had full-blown state-of-the-art gyms inside of them. So I was very used to living and working out in the same place. So that for me has become a norm. So when I don't have it like that, I make excuses, and I know I make excuses. So because I know that I make excuses, you see, you have to know what your toxic traits are.
Yes.
I know that's my toxic trait.
No, facts. You're telling the truth, girl.
I mean, you have to be realistic with yourself, and you have to be honest with yourself. when you can be honest with yourself, it's easier to be honest with everyone else, right? But when you're honest with yourself and you tell yourself, I know that I will not work out if I don't have it facilitated in this way, make sure that you're in the best position to have it that way.
Exactly.
If you can, if you can make it happen. That's really, it's honestly convenience. And to be honest, I also moved my trainer inside of my home. No, I'm just totally kidding. She is living in my home, but just, I told her that, she can come and live with us for a few months while she's getting some things in order. And I was like, this is the perfect setup. Like, you're going to get me in the best shape of my life. I'm really excited. And she was like, I'm going to slap food out of your hand if I see it. Which is fantastic. No, but she's really great. She's awesome. She's been a great person to have around, because sometimes seeing other people live their good habits around you, they don't have to tell you to do it, but because you see them, you're
You'll
like,
be inspired to do it.
This jug right here, courtesy of TikTok, by the way, this jug, I've had it filled for the past 2 months straight since she's been here. Drinking my water, honey. That's why my skin is like, yes.
Popping.
Mm-hmm. And I wasn't doing that. I knew I had to drink my water, but I kept seeing her fill up this jug every 3 hours. I was like, damn, girl, you drink a lot of water. And she was like, why aren't you? And I said, ooh.
Got you all the way together.
She sure did. She gathered me real quick. I said, let me go ahead and get my jugs out real quick.
You're right.
I didn't put it down ever since. So yeah, just convenience, making sure that I have those convenient things laying around the house that I can work out, do my thing. Accountability is really important. That's why I got myself a trainer. And then also sharing it online. When you share things online, people keep you accountable. People will comment, hey, how's this going?
Big facts. Big facts.
Don't you tell the internet you about to go do something, because somebody, you'd be surprised.
Bug you.
There's some 3 people like, hey, what's up? Why aren't you posting this? What's going on with that? I'm like, damn, I haven't made it to chill out. They will keep you accountable 1,000%.
And will. If you need an accountability buddy, they are there.
Yep, just post it online.
Specifically.
Yep. Somebody will. Somebody's gonna remind you real quick.
That's a fact. Girl, child. Anyway, that's another conversation for another day. But we love the accountability because it keeps us pursuing what we know we deserve to have in our lives. We're going to continue to attract abundance because we took a chance on ourselves.
Yes, amen. Amen.
Yes, ma'am. Amen. So as a content creator, I'm sure you get contacted by brands all the time. For anyone who is interested in developing their content creation strategy and starting to attract those brands and collecting the bag, what do you have to say to and for them?
Yes. So what I think that's helped the most with brands is think about the brands that you want to work with ahead of time. If it's a brand or something that you like to use a lot of the times, like if it's when it's genuine, it always comes across the best. So if it's a brand that you've been using and you love, at first you may have to make some free videos, because you always, when you pitch to them, you want to tell them, hey, a few weeks ago, I posted that I used your product and I loved it. This is an example of like what I kind of want to bring to the table. Like my followers love this stuff that I use because I genuinely told them, hey, I bought it with my own coins. Like I believe in this brand. I love this brand.
Because it do hit different when you buy it with your own coins.
Okay. So that is the main thing, being genuinely interested and actually liking the product and the brands that you're wanting to pitch to and work with. And then the other thing is also curating your feed in a way. You don't want to be too commercially, but you do want to create high quality content. When if you don't have like the right lighting, it's in the dark, you're kind of like, brands don't like that. Brands want to see you. They want to see their product. They want to see everything be highlighted. So investing in a ring light, nowadays ring lights are not as expensive as it used to be. When I got my first ring light, that thing was like $350. Now there's
what? You have a state-of-the-art one.
Nah, that was years ago. It was a rinky dink. I still have it. It does nothing. The ring light that I'm in right now, you should see it. I mean, it has all kinds of buttons. I got it for like $115 on Amazon. And it's the same brand. because the demand is so much higher, because there's so many more people trying to be a creator or trying to create content for whatever, and they need ring lights or whatever. So yeah, high quality content, creating. And also, if you want to get reposted by brands, check out their pages first and see that the look that they're going for, if they have a certain
That's a good idea.
color niche, like maybe they use a lot of browns and stuff, use browns in your post, because they're going to most likely post it to their feed, because they're always looking for free content that they can repost, but it has to be high quality and it has to match their vibe. So that would be my biggest thing. To get those brands to look at you, you got to emulate their feeds and you have to create high quality content.
That's a good tip there. That's not what most people would say. Like, pay attention to the color scheme, even they're already using. That's such a good tip. That's such a good tip. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, for sure.
But Absolutely. You're not just a content creator. You're also a real estate investor and an Airbnb host.
Yes.
Get into doing that, and how do we get into doing that? Because that's where the coins are.
Okay, so let me tell you, Airbnb. Okay, so full disclosure, we stopped doing Airbnb. We bought a house. We did real estate investing first. We got a house that needed some loving. We flipped it. We, got it looking right. We got furniture in it. We're like, well, let's make it Airbnb. We made an Airbnb. Every weekend it was booked, which was great. However, it's a lot of upkeep. You definitely have to, it's almost like a full-time job. Like, you have to be available for people. You have to make sure things are stocked. You have to get a cleaning crew. And now there's apps and things. I would definitely recommend the app Tidy. The app Tidy, we use them a lot because it syncs your calendar, the Airbnb calendar, into their system. So as soon as you get a booking, they automatically book you a housekeeper that comes right after that person leaves, which is great. Streamlined, fantastic. We love that. However, you have to be available for people. Sometimes people have these weird things that they have going on, and people are just strange. And if you're not wanting to be like constantly talking to people all day long, especially people staying there, I wouldn't recommend. Now, if you like that kind of stuff and you have nothing else to do but sit around and talk to people and stuff, like if you have that kind of schedule that would allow yourself to do that, I would recommend, because it is good money. You can definitely make good money. But yeah, it just requires a lot more. Now with real estate investing, that's a whole different thing. We actually are about to build a nice modern house in a really nice area in Dallas. We're pretty excited. We got the plans for it today. They're finalized. So now we just got to do the permits and stuff. There's companies that will help you. If you don't have the cash money, there's companies that will help you do it. It's called a hard money lending. If you look up just hard money lending, there's a lot of places around that. Most of the time you may just need to save up maybe $5,000 to $10,000. I mean, you're going to have to save something before you start. That's just a given. My husband and I, we saved like $20,000 before we started, but it took like a whole year and a half to save that, because the pandemic and whatever else. But once we did that, the companies, they'll give you basically double or triple what you already have, and then you can finance getting the house, and then you use that hard money lending money to flip the house, to put all the nice things in it, get contractors and work on the house, and then you sell the house for much more, and then you make that money back, which is fantastic. So there's a lot of ways to do it, but my husband, he kind of takes the forefront on that. I'm like, I just pick the colors, and I pick,
the feminine, you come in and make it beautiful.
Yes, like the design. I actually went to interior design school briefly, so like there's certain things that I like to look for and that I like to add, but I'm not a construction person by any means. But if you can get into real estate and invest in some sort of real estate, I would highly recommend.
Yes, girl, that is definitely a step to go in, like for sure. Definitely go in that direction. Well, my love, we've got one more question left. And this is an easy question. It's just, how do you celebrate yourself? We ask everyone that comes onto the podcast. So tell us, Thalia, how do you celebrate yourself?
I celebrate myself by, you know what? I think I celebrate myself daily by having a checklist of things that I need to do, that I know that I need to do. And it could be something as simple as like, just get up and get ready and just show up. So I think I celebrate myself daily, especially this year with everything that I've gone through and everything, just by showing up, whether that's getting in front of my computer and looking at some emails or whatever, like feeling accomplished and just checking off a few things. And it's just getting up, getting ready, walking my dog, get in front of the computer, create a quick video, do whatever. Like anytime I do when I finalize something, I celebrate that. I'm like, I did that. Okay, I finished that. Let me put that in the drafts. We'll post it later, but I shot it. It's in there. It's good. So just checking daily things off, allowing me to feel like I accomplished something, even if it's a day that I didn't feel like I did a lot. But just checking off that one or two things makes me like helps me celebrate myself.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. That's gonna bless somebody, what you just said. Celebrate the little things that you accomplish throughout your day.
The little things. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be a huge accomplishment. You don't have to, you don't have to cure world hunger today. I know Elon Musk is trying to, but anyway, that's a different thing. With the UN, he's trying to give him $6 billion. You ain't got to do that. You ain't Elon Musk, okay, honey? Right. You Thalia today, and Thalia, she gonna check off that I make my coffee every day. Every day that I wake up and make my coffee, I'm like, oh yes, I made that coffee. I'm good for the day. Yeah. No, but then I do more things, but the little things.
But the best part of waking up.
Soldiers in your cup. Except I use Café Bustelo, but anyway. It's strong coffee. I need that strong black coffee.
Yes. Yeah. Do you drink your coffee black?
I do drink it black. I'll do a little creamer for kicks and giggles here and there, but it'll be almond milk and oat milk based because I try not to do a lot of dairy, but I like it black. Just like my husband. Just kidding.
We love black men.
He light skinned, but anyway, he's still black.
But he black.
Lightly melanated.
Where can everyone find you online?
Yes. So on TikTok, I'm just Thalia LeBlanc, just my first and my last name. I'm sure she will write it somewhere. Yes. And then on Instagram, I'm Thalia M. LeBlanc. Someone took my name on there, but it's fine. It's my middle initial. But yeah, Thalia LeBlanc or Thalia M. LeBlanc is where you can find me on socials.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Thalia. And if you are not following the Healed podcast, what are you doing, sis? Go ahead and head over to Instagram and follow us on Instagram, the Healed Podcast. We also have a TikTok, the Healed Podcast on TikTok. So yes, friends, go ahead and follow us over there. We appreciate you so much for listening in to our show. We couldn't do this without you. But in the meantime, my loves, stay awesome and stay healing.
Hey.
Yes.